So today's all about divided we stand. Divided. What does that mean? Where are we? What exactly is going on today? Social media is crazy. So many people are getting fed up with it. I think it's because no one's had this much or this amount of politics shoved at them in such a short period of time. Normally, every 4 years, you hear about a president or a president getting elected, and you voice your opinion. The Obama election twice, I don't think was nearly as political as this one. There's so many opinions, and how many uneducated opinions are there? There's left, there's right, there's, and everybody thinks that their position is the right position, and the passion behind it all is good, but there needs to be I don't know even know what criticism of both sides. And criticism is good. Individual thought is good. Trump deserves criticism when we should criticize and question our leader. That's how it all works. Now, Hillary Clinton, yes, we put her on trial, ran her through, and the left did to Donald Trump also. But the days of the charismatic Obama regime, should we call it, are gone. Trump is not a politician, not even close. He's a businessman. Obama was a community organizer. He led marches, or he led political groups. Trump wants to make money. That's what he does. He wants to increase jobs, decrease imports, and increase the economy of the U.S. Meanwhile, you have Twitter, you have social media, and Trump going crazy, tweeting whatever he wants, whenever he wants. And, well, not only is he the president, he's a human being, and I do believe in this country we're free to do pretty much whatever you want to do within the law. And Obama was about hope and change. Change. I mean, what does that mean to you? What's change? What exactly did he want to change that he didn't change? And does that mean we have to change the way our security and the way immigration works, the way the Constitution reads? Obama himself put a lot of executive orders in that were, of course, half thought that was against the Constitution, the other half didn't. But now, everything Trump is doing, the left is saying is unconstitutional, illegal, immoral, unethical, everything, including this whole closing of the borders from 7 predominantly Muslim countries, but it only covers about 10% of the Muslims out there. 90% of the Muslims are still free to come in the country. There is no religious test. Nothing on there says what religion you are. It's not how they're going to keep people in or out of the country. It is to slow down, step back, take a look, and kind of figure out what we're doing and what's going to be safer. And I know I went down to a protest over the weekend here in Kenosha, and they still build it as a Muslim ban. There were signs, Muslim ban. You had the typical American flag on everything. You had people chanting, "Let them in." It was against Paul Ryan, the whole thing down there. But again, it was still a Muslim ban. They were against the Muslim ban. There is no Muslim ban. I didn't get into any confrontation with anyone down there. I felt it best to take my pictures, get my video, and exit gracefully. And I so bad really wanted to confront them with logic and facts. But the minute I walked up, I was pretty much surrounded by some very large people. It was very intimidating. It was not welcoming at all. I had a media pass on. I had a big camera. And I don't know exactly what their thoughts were, but they insisted on knowing who I was, why I was there, and what my intentions were. I can't imagine what would have happened if I had let them know I was conservative. I know I didn't stick around to be identified down there. I know some people that were there that do know me. Luckily, I was in and out before anybody pointed me out. But you could see the passion in what they were protesting for, but I think it was misguided in what they were protesting against. You got Trump running around. He's kicking ass and taking names. 14 days into his presidency, he has done, I think, more than Obama did in his first 100 days. He hasn't played a round of golf. He hasn't gone on a taxpayer vacation. And he went to the prayer breakfast and talked about Schwarzenegger's ratings. Now, again, Obama is a talker. He's a community organizer. He's a speech maker. Trump is not. And he is surely not a comedian. And the whole thing, I would just imagine, was supposed to be his opening joke, which the media ran with and took it. And, oh, my God, he's destroying the whole world. But the protests today always include the word fascism. Now, fascism, by definition, is a political philosophy, movement, or regime that exalts nation and often race above the individual, and that stands for a centralized, autocratic government headed by a dictatorial leader, severe economic and social regimentation, and forcible suppression of the opposition. This definition reflects the fact that Nazis were, in fact, both fascist and the political left. They favored a heavy-handed government in business and in the personal lives of its citizens. What does that sound like to you? Does that sound like the political right or the political left? Now, continuing here, the authoritarian government of Nazi Germany not only oppressed opposing political views and used violence to enforce it. Wait, what? Using violence to enforce and oppress opposing political views. What just happened at Berkeley with Milo? He came in to speak, exercise his freedom of speech, but yet groups shut him down. And he was shut down. They figured that personal safety was more important than letting him speak. Well, okay. Nazi Germany, that's what you're comparing it to, the left. Now, they also supported a powerful central government which heaped social benefits on its citizens. Welfare, maybe? Government housing, government subsidies, government handouts, Obama phones, Section 8, rent assistance, you name it. They're pushing so much down. So It's like that friend that keeps buying you drinks at the bar. You're going to hang out with him as long as he's buying drinks at the bar. You're going to agree with everything he says because you don't want those drinks to stop. You don't want those gifts to stop. If someone's paying your rent, you're going to be nice to them, right? You're going to agree everything that they say. Yes, yes, point of view. Okay, and the second part of Nazism is the socialist part, which is very similar to what the modern political left advocates. For all their bluster to the contrary, Hitler was a man of extreme left, and so was fellow fascist Benito Mussolini. Now, the socialist part, again, is the government that's going to come in and run your life, your day-to-day life. The government thinks that they know better. I was listening to Dan Conley the other Friday, I think it was, former New York City police officer, and he showed up on the scene of a child that had fallen out of a window of an apartment building, and I mean, tragic. The people across the street were going, where was the government? Where was the regulations? Where was the superintendent? Why weren't there bars on the windows? Why was he allowed to do this? Why doesn't somebody step in and do something so this doesn't happen? My question is, where the hell were the parents? Where was the babysitter? Where were the people watching the child? It has nothing to do with government, nothing to do with the bars on the windows. But back to this fascism. The whole reason I bring it up is because you see it at all these rallies on Stop Fascist Trump. Stop fascism. Fascism is bad. Google has gone and redefined the word to read an authoritarian and nationalistic right-wing system of government and social organization. Extreme white I can't even talk today. Extreme right-wing authoritarian or intolerant views or practice. That does not sound like the right. That sounds like the left. The protesters that currently blanket this nation. It's not the quiet, reserved conservatives. The left-wingers, they're constantly suppressing our freedom of speech. Again, like what happened at Berkeley. Conservatives advocate for a smaller, less intrusive government where power rests with the states and individuals, and that's what Trump's trying to do. He wants to put everything, including healthcare and education, back to the states. And speaking of education, all everybody can do is pick on Betsy DeVos because she never went to public school. I beg to differ, to ask a question to all the senators out there who are telling her and getting on her about this. How many of you have gone to public school? How many of your kids go to public school? What makes you educated to decide that she's not educated to make a decision when you yourself have been sheltered for your entire life? Career politics, going into a job making less than $100,000 a year and coming out 20 years later worth $27 million. It doesn't make sense. And no one's that good at saving. Progressive liberals advocate for just the opposite, a powerful central government with the authority vested in a strong leader who has the ability to impose decrees from Washington on everything from healthcare to education again. Now, who's that sound like? Hillary. What do you really think would have happened if Hillary Clinton had become president? Do you think we'd be having these protests? No. Because what conservatives would be doing is they'd be gathered up, rounding up, figuring out how to defeat her in 4 years. We're not going to go suppress your right to free speech. We're not going to take away your basic rights. We're going to still let you cross the campus. We're going to let you drive down the road. We're going to let you live your life. But as far as this whole Muslim ban or travel ban or whatever you're going to call it. It's to keep us safe. And that's what I heard even at the protests over the weekend. We want to let them in because they're not safe in their own country. Okay? They're not safe in their own country because of we're not really sure what yet. But let's just let them come on over here so they can all be not safe in our country. I don't understand. Why can't we just hang out for a little bit? And the whole, I think, 106 people that were inconvenienced by the travel ban out of 300 and some thousand. I'll take those odds. Since we've all been inconvenienced traveling by air since 9/11, I think we can inconvenience 100 people coming in. No one is against immigration. I don't know a single person that's against immigration. However, I do know a lot of people against illegal immigration. Illegal immigrants. You have Nancy Pelosi. She states, illegal immigrants in sanctuary cities are not breaking the law. They are law-abiding citizens. Yeah. Let's break that down for a second. They're not breaking the law. They're law-abiding citizens. First of all, they're breaking the law by being in this country illegally. Second, they're not citizens.